Welcome in. Welcome into the Soul's Role. Soul's Role in personality typing with a spiritual understanding. Today I'm talking about fruit. I know, bizarre, right? But it all makes sense if you just hang with me. So, sometimes you'll get fruit. And fruit always comes with a covering, right? A skin of some sorts. Most fruit does. And you get home, you get ready to cut in the fruit, you cut into the fruit, and sometimes it's like this glorious, juicy, nutrient-dense, sweet fruit that's so good for you. It just fills you up. It makes you happy. It brings you joy, right? And if you're me, Amelia Bedelia, it'll be dripping down my face and on my shirt and on my clothes, because that's me. But sometimes you cut into fruit. You cut into it and it's just rotten. It's just you're like, ew, what happened? This is the same thing I feel is a great metaphor, I should say, in regards to personality typing. Because when you have this external skin, like the skin on the fruit, we have an external skin too. I'll just go with me on this. And when that external skin is so steeped in fear and ego conditioning, if we don't resolve those fears and that runaway ego, what happens is that skin, that outer shell of you, becomes rigid. It's so conditioned in the ways of ego and fear, it's not letting anything else in. So what it basically does is it shuts you down. It shuts you down into those low frequency energies of fear. I'm gonna give you an example, okay? And I always have to use myself because I don't know your personality type. So I'm always using myself. Feel free to become a volunteer, I would love it. So here's me, I'm in New York City. I'm on stage. I'm getting ready to get one of the most prestigious awards you can get in hospitality. It's a platinum award from Hospitality Sales and Marketing Association International, blah, blah, blah. And I think I've told you this story, but I'm on stage and I should be ecstatic and I'm feeling like, oh my God, I don't feel good. My stomach's all rolling and it wasn't because I was nervous, because I already got the award. I was just there to look good, step on stage, pick up the award and go, right? And party. That was just the big thing, right? And, but something wasn't right, Years later, because at that point, I said on that stage quietly to myself, I said, God, something isn't right. And I said a 3-word prayer, please show me. And boy, did I get shown. That started my 7-year life tsunami, right? But it was years later that I kind of started figuring this stuff out, that role, my blind ambition, took me to a place that was fear and ego laden, My blind ambition, I was telling myself the story that, oh my God, if I get on this stage and I become in this group of platinum winners, I've arrived. I'm good enough. I'm the best, right? Is that ego? That's all ego, right? So it makes sense that I was sitting on that stage and I was not feeling good. I wasn't feeling fulfilled, okay? So what happened, even though I was on stage and feeling all this, when you peel away the skin, I was rotten inside. Does that make sense? I was rotten inside. So that started my journey of mastering personality typing with a spiritual understanding. Okay. Now I'm going to go a lot more into this on the blog. There's some journal prompts for you. There's some ways to start working yourself out and seeing what your fears and where you are and how conditioned you feel you are, to break free of this fear and ego conditioning, where so many of us live. I'm telling you, this is one of the most practical approaches you can use to find your purpose, to start living a purpose-driven life. Because once you get into your type, you start peeling away everything, because your type shows you your fears. It's real easy. Your type shows you your fears. It shows you what your genius is, and it shows you where your fears are. It's so practical. It's so useful. And what I've done is I put a spiritual component to it. So now it merges, and I say this a lot, your physical self, your humanness, with your beingness, with your non-physical self. It helps you trust more in that unknown phase, which we are all in right now. So I hope you enjoy the blog. Leave some comments. If you have any questions, drop your personality type in the comments below. I'd love to learn more about you. Love you, beautiful souls. Bye for now. Nina.